And a very good morning, Saturday morning here with another edition of the Saturday Show. I'm Karl as your host. We have Reece will join us shortly as well. We're going to talk about a lot of things today, including some big games across this week, and including the El Clasico game between Real Madrid and Barcelona this weekend tomorrow as well. We'll also talk about the Champions League and the Europa Leagues and the Conference Leagues competitions as well too. And we'll talk about the big news about Sheffield Wednesday. The breaking news yesterday that Sheffield Wednesday have now gone into administration as well. So yes, let's get on with the show. Let's say good morning to Michael. Yeah, good morning, Michael. Reece will be joining us shortly as well. He should be here within the next 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes or so, just to start his morning as well. But let's go through for all the fixtures today as well. So you see across the table, there's 4 games in the Premier League today. No 12:30 kickoffs today in the Premier League. So at the moment, it's Chelsea against Sunderland later on at 3 o'clock today. Fulham go away to Newcastle. Man United getting their first back-to-back wins in under Ruben Amorim as well. They are home to Brighton, and Liverpool face a trip down to West London to face Brentford. And in the Scottish Premiership, Dundee United against St Mirren. Dundee go away to Falkirk and Livingston at home to Motherwell. In the Championship, there's 3 games in the launch that kick off. Coventry at home to Watford at the top of the table. West Brom go away to Ipswich Town, and then Portsmouth against Stoke City. Good morning, Etienne. Hope you're well too as well. Thanks for joining in as well. Southampton after the defeat against Bristol City early this week. They're away to Blackburn Rovers. Excuse me. Coventry at home to Birmingham City. That's another big game for Bristol City. So Bristol City at home to Birmingham City. Derby County getting the win early this week. They're at home to QPR. Wrexham go away to Middlesbrough. Mill to Leicester City. Sheffield Wednesday, who are now in administration. They hope for this for the first time they'll see more than 20,000 fans in this at Hillsborough for the first time at home at Oxford United, and then Swansea City at home to Norwich City, who are in a poor run form under Liam Manning at the moment as well. And in League One, there's only 2 12:30 kickoffs in the game as well. Bolton against Cardiff City at 12:30. Mansfield Town against Wigan Athletic. Burton go away to AFC Wimbledon. Barnes at home to Rotherham United. Leyton Orient gets Lincoln City. Luton go up to Northampton. Peterborough home to Blackpool. Reading gets Doncaster Rovers. Stevenage gets Bradford City, and Wycombe Rangers gets Huddersfield Town. And League Two, we also got those kickoffs as well. Cheltenham Town gets Walsall. Fleetwood Town go away home to Accrington Stanley. Barnet go away to Barrow. MK Dons go away down to Bromley. But Crawley Town gets Bristol Rovers. Crewe Alexandra gets Grimsby Town. Harrogate Town against Newport County. Cambridge United go away to Notts County. Oldham Athletic against Shrewsbury Town. Swindon against Colchester, and Tranmere against Chesterfield as well. It's a bit of a Yorkshire derby in the National League at 12:30 between Halifax Town against York City, and also Carlisle United go away to York Town away at 3 o'clock today. And also, we get into the Scottish Cup second round. Some key games. Edinburgh State at home to Stirling University. And Spartans are facing the first of the back-to-back games at home against East Kilbride in the Scottish Cup second round. Also, Clyde against Allen Athletic as well. This is to get into the third round to before they meet with the big teams in Scotland as well. In the Scottish Championship, Wake Rovers home to Partick Thistle, A United away at Queen's Park as well. St Johnstone away at Green at Morton, and also the Northern Cup games of League One. Alloa Athletic gets Dennis Muir, Celtic Hearts gets East Five, Montrose gets Cove Rangers, and Peter gets Inverness Cali Thistle as well. Let's look in the European section of today as well. In the Spanish La Liga as well, Girona at home to Real Oviedo, Espanyol gets Elche later at 3:15. Athletic Club against Getafe at 5:30, and then they could kick up between Valencia against Villarreal. In the German Bundesliga, Bayern Munich go away to Borussia Mönchengladbach, Leipzig away at Augsburg, Eintracht Frankfurt against St. Pauli as well. Hamburg against Wolfsburg later at 2:30. Hoffenheim against Heidenheim at 2:30, and also the 5:30 kickoff between Borussia Dortmund against FC Cologne at 5:30 today. And in the Serie A, a huge big game at 5 o'clock tonight is Napoli against Inter Milan as well, which is a huge game as well coming up, and also in League PSG go away to Brest at 4 o'clock, Monaco home to Toulouse at 6 o'clock, and Lens against Marseille at 8:05 as well. Let's go into tomorrow's games and Sunday's games. We've got 5 games in the Premier League coming up as well. Bournemouth home to Nottingham Forest after Sean Dyche is making his Premier League debut as a Nottingham Forest manager. Big game at Emirates between Arsenal and Crystal Palace at 2 o'clock. Man City go away to Aston Villa as well. Winless Wolves at home to Burnley at the moment. This is a relegation 6 points about coming up. And the 4:30 kickoff between Everton against Tottenham Hotspur as well, and it's a big game in the Scottish Premiership as well. It's top of the table Hearts, who are still unbeaten. They go against Celtic. Can they make it 8 points clear if they win tomorrow at Tynecastle Park? Aberdeen home to Hibernia at Hibs at 2:30, and it's a 3 o'clock in Danny Rowe's first Rangers home game against Kilmarnock on tomorrow as well. No more games, not a lot of games coming up over the European states, but the big game is the El Clasico at the Bernabeu between Real Madrid and Barca at 3:15, and then as well, and the German Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen gets Freiburg. Leverkusen got spanked by PSG 7-2 at the Bay Arena this week, and then Stuttgart gets Mainz as well at 4:30 as well. And a big game tomorrow is actually Lazio against Juventus at quarter to 8 tomorrow evening as well. And also looking in the Division, it's final against PSV, which is a huge game as well. Ajax go away to 20 early at 11:15 tomorrow morning, and then AZ Alkmaar against Utrecht at quarter to 4, and then League Earn is some huge games. So Strasbourg go away to Lyon, which is a huge game at quarter to 8, and Lille against Metz as well too. So, and also going into Monday's night's games as well. There's no Monday night games. Only in La Liga, which is one game in League One. Port Vale gets Stockport County, and Real Betis at home to Atletico Madrid as well. So that is all the fixtures for this weekend completely. Let's get into some messages actually. And yeah, Michael, it was a great win for us. It's gives the team a bit of breathing space, which is good, and I'm kind of happy with that. So it's just. Listen, I think if a lot wanted some Leeds fans will complain about not getting a clean sheet and stuff yesterday, but anyway, 3 points is 3 points. We got the win that we needed to do, so I'm happy with that, and especially against a poorly West Ham side, it was very, very disappointing. It was not surprised West Ham, but they conceded 2 from set pieces completely as well. Good morning, Chris. So yep, said is Robertson still crying about his 4-2? I forgot about that. He played against you guys the other week, and yeah, I'm glad you actually did get a win. A win against them this week, and at least you hopefully do in the title race. So that's really good. And yeah, and you're right, Chris. All 3 promoters could stay up. We'll talk more about that on the 20 podcast with myself and Doug later after Monday, probably around about Monday, Tuesday. We'll do our recording, and then we'll put it up for everyone to join as well. So yeah, it's actually quite interesting. It's been a good weekend. It's been could stay up as well, but it was a good week for Leeds. We'll talk more depth about it, but a good performance from Brendan Harrison, who actually has been trying to get his goal he's not scored a goal since 2022, and that was against a 3-0 win against Chelsea in his second season as well. So in his first full season as well. So yeah, a good win with that one, and I think deep down, it's a good points to get the breathing space to be 8 points, more than 8 points clear now. Well, yeah, 8 points clear ahead of West Ham now. So which is good for us, and especially we could see a resurgence not in Forest later this week if they do well in their first game tomorrow on the Shaw Dice where they play against Bournemouth tomorrow as well. So that's gonna be an interesting game as well. We should have Reece coming on shortly as well. He's just messaged in. He will be in soon as possible. But how's everyone's week been? You all been doing some exciting. You going to the games today? Don't know about Chris, because I know Chris, especially your team's away this weekend. So I don't know if you'll be able to watch it online as well. But other than that, let's go and discuss. Probably the big game this weekend. It's the El Clasico. Well, Drew Bellingham against Marcus Rashford. We never thought we'd say that in the El Clasico game. Two Englishmen going against each other tomorrow ahead of 3 o'clock, 3:15 tomorrow as well. And yeah, this is good. This is the first El Clasico that's going to feature English players in opposition in history. Yeah, for Bellingham, this is him to make a statement. To statement as well. He is very popular with the Madrista fans as well. But for Rashford, he's been in good form as well too. So, it is going to be a very very interesting game tomorrow, which we'll get Reese's take on it shortly as well. So, yeah, yeah, I'm not going to because I'll go to work because I'm not being too. Yeah, that's a fair point. So that's a fair point, Chris. I hopefully you'll get to watch it on DAZN, which I think it's been incredible for National League football with their coverage on DAZN and getting all that coverage at the moment, which is really good as well. So yeah, but like I said, it's a huge game tomorrow between both these sides, and for Real Madrid at the moment in the La Liga, looking at the La Liga table itself, and like I said, it is actually Real Madrid are 2 points ahead of Barcelona, so Barcelona need to win tomorrow to try to go above the top of the table with a better goal difference. But this game could be another 4-3 moment. We don't know, like compared to last season. So I think both these teams come in good form, especially Barcelona beating Olympiacos in the Champions League the midweek as well, so which was very good as well. Real Madrid come into a good form as well, so yeah. If not the zone, I watch on legal device. Yeah, we know, Chris, we know on legal. Yeah, yeah, but hey, it's a big bumper game of football this week we got as well, which we'll talk about, and we also got the EFL, the Carabao Cup coming next week as well too, which we'll discuss more in depth as well. We also talked to Reece about what's going on at Rangers, especially the defeat at Brand this past weekend. A huge game for Daniel Horne in his first home game as a new Rangers boss against Kilmarnock tomorrow as well. We'll talk about the Celtic. The Hearts Celtic game tomorrow as well, which we release when he joins us. But yeah, hey, it's a good Saturday morning. It's a nice sunny day. I'm having a nice cup of coffee to wait to start myself this morning. So it's all good for me at the moment. So yeah, aye, that is true as well. Yes, I'm not forgetting about Trent, but problem is Trent is actually injured at the moment, Michael. So yeah, Trent's out with an injury, so I don't think he'll be in participation in the game tomorrow. I don't think he will. So unfortunately, so Trent is out without his injury as well. So there'll be no TAA tomorrow as well. So, but it is actually having. It's the first time we're having two Englishmen on opposition teams playing against each other, which, like I said, it's never happened before. Never happened under Gary Lineker or Laurie Cunningham when he was at Real Madrid as well. Neither, where we had players David Beckham, Steve McManaman, and Michael Owen. Barcelona's didn't have any English players in that particular time. So, yeah, that's true, Chris. Trent's always get injured before he plays Liverpool, and that's true. So it's not surprising he's not going to be there. So as I said, it would it's not it's like I said, with him getting injured. I know it's probably best for you guys because he's not playing against you. Hopefully in the group in the league stage of the Champions League, which is good. So, but time will tell. We will see over the course of the week, over the course of this weekend as well. Before we discuss it next weekend. But let's go into some news about what's going on at Sheffield Wednesday. And you've heard, and Michael just messaging, and he was asking about the Sheffield Wednesday situation. As you did the news yesterday, it was a bittersweet moment for Sheffield Wednesday. They have now been going into administration day as well. Now, after they've been handed an automatic 12-point deduction, which now left them in -6 points. It does. So how does it work, Chris? How does it work, Michael? Okay, so with Sheffield Wednesday going into administration now, which means Delphine Chansiri no longer owns the club now. That is now the case. They will no longer own the club. And that means the employers will get paid under the administration to keep them afloat. Hopefully the money will come in with a large attendance now coming in now and going to the home store and buying the kits as well, because there was a boycott from most of it that's been going on from the start of the season, the start of the season, because early this month HMRC seeked a rallied up petition with the club owing £1 million. It's been documented for the last few months of being delayed wage payments, player departures, fan protests, and a boycott attending the Mouse described the manner how the club was being run. And there's relief now that because of Chelsea being departed, it's now hopefully Sheffield can move into a different direction as well. So let's say good morning to Reece. Reece, good morning.
Morning, how are we doing?
We are all well, thank you. Good for you to join in this morning as well. So, yeah, let's kick off with the big news that happened in the last 24 hours in the EFL. Sheffield Wednesday now being placed in administration after they now had an automatic 12-point deduction now, and that leaves them in the bottom tier on the second tier of -6 points. But it does effectively end the reign of the unpopular owner Devon Chanzeri's time at Sheffield Wednesday, which has been a disaster after he's been coming to the club.
Yeah, it has. I only seen the news after you messaged me last night about the topics. I've been so busy with other things. I've been doing a lot of things in the background I've been trying to deal with. So I only just seen it when you messaged me. So I was looking into it last night, and I feel bad for the Sheffield Wednesday fans. I feel bad for the Sheffield Wednesday players. I don't feel bad for the owner because he's clearly neglected the club. So it's good to see that they are, in the sense, they're going to be free from him. But I've got a very sad take. I will be very surprised if anyone takes Sheffield Wednesday on.
Well, that's a good question because a couple of weeks ago we knew that John Textor was linked with to Sheffield Wednesday after he sold off Crystal Palace, and
Yep.
then that never came to fruition. So what does that mean now for Sheffield Wednesday to try to get the right owner in completely now?
I think the problem is, and this is another thing as well, it's not just about finding the right owner, it's about how you get the owner in and how the owner actually proves it. The problem for me is that fitting owner's means test. It doesn't correlate well in the Premier League, it doesn't correlate well in the EFL, and it should be the whole way through. If you're buying a football club, no matter what division they're in, you should be able to show proof of funds and you should be able to prove um, a stable line of income. And you've got, for me, an owner has to do one thing. An owner has to present the first year, the third year, and the fifth year as a, in terms of funds for me. I think that should be part of the means test going forward.
Yeah,
If you want to own a football club, you have to show how much money you're going to put in the first year to balance out the sheets. The third year, but after 2 years of how hopefully balanced it within 2 years. If not, you get to the third year. How do you make sure it's balanced? And then the fifth year, right? How much money have you actually put in now? And how much money do you anticipate? If you can't prove that, you should be disqualified from buying a football club.
yeah, absolutely. I know the government's bringing the independent football regulation where they are now going to have like licenses now to make sure you meet the financial responsibilities and requirements going forward.
Yeah.
But in a way, like you said, it's a bit sweet more. We know that there might be a fan-led takeover proposal that might happen in the cast with the Sheffield United Supporters Trust. That's also been in consideration as well. And like Chris said, administration is better than liquidation. I think if Transit was still on the club, I think Sheffield Wednesday would have been liquidated, and it would have been a complex situation. And I'm glad
Hmm.
that the administrators have come in now and now said, right, we got to keep this club afloat. Especially the club has got historic. The club is not a championship club; it's a big club in outside the Premier League that should be in the Premier League in my matter. And deep down, I just think the way Chelsea is running the first two seasons, he had a choice. They got to the playoff final in his first season. They lost to Hull. Then they went out again. They went out in the semi final to Russell. And they've been the last 7 or so years. They've been languishing league between Championship League One and they're bringing in so high turnover managers. They overspent on players so much that didn't meet the financial requirements. He was very dodgy of putting his name on the stand in the seating area, and also with the D taxis. That was his shell company, and also is one thing as well. The stadium was owned by him, which I've be told that the mortgage he has defaulted on the mortgages as well. So so they got two issues. It's not just the club itself, but the stadium's also another issue as well. They need to try to get that all together to make sure the owner, the new whoever takes over, has the can like I said needs to have a 5 year plan of the financial what's going to happen.
I agree. I think there's so many issues at once that need to be rectified, and it's about finding someone who actually wants to take it on, but someone who actually not just capable, but somebody who will actually care about it. And we see it now with a lot of football owners these days. They don't care about the clubs; they just care about making money.
Mm.
And I get it, making money is important, but if you own a football club, you should want to see it succeed on the field. You should want to see it be successful, and that means the more successful you are on the field, the more successful you are off the field, because you become a more attractive commodity. And Sheffield Wednesday are not going to get that if they don't get in the right option. And the sad reality is administration is a good tool. Administration is a good tool to try and fix your debts, fix your issues, but it's who comes in next that's got to deal with it as well, and that's the worst part. The fact is, as well, is this owner is an absolute fool. Also, funny thing, if you hit the like button on the YouTube channel for the Totally Levy and Horne podcast, you do get a football appear as the like button. So if you do smash that link, you will get a football.
Yeah.
So that might be the only time you ever become world class in your lives, but it certainly will give you something to still will with.
Mm. In terms of what's going on at Hillsborough, does it now? Can we know that Sheffield Wednesday was going to go down to League One? We said it at the start of
Hmm.
the preseason. At the start of preseason, then I put them at the bottom of the table. Where the fans care about the club.
Yeah.
They care about the club, and they don't care what's happening in the league. They just care about maybe going down to League One will start fresh. Where if they do get new Spence owners, they can actually that there's no spending restrictions on it if they get things right sorted out properly, like what happened to Birmingham City when when the Nighthead took over. When Nighthead took over with Tom Brady coming in as well, so and Tom Wagner
Yep.
as well. Is Can we see another moment where it could be another Birmingham City this team if they get the right owners in that can help not just the club but the city itself?
Maybe. I mean, it's possible, but I also think if you're going to if you're going to hope for that situation, then it's all about how you can attract them to the city. How can you attract them to the club? How can you attract prospective owners with, say, additional investors who might want to do it? That seems to be a new thing as well. It's owners who want investors as well, and I'm like, I would rather just an outright owner than an investor, because I feel like if you have an investor plus owners, that investor ends up getting say as well on decisions, and if they haven't got a clue what they're talking about, they've got power unless you buy them out,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
unlike.
true.
So I would rather have a full owner than an investor, unless it's an investor that actually gives a damn. Um, it's is dangerous in terms of how you go about it, but if they can present it in the right way, then they can do something. I'll tell you what, an owner that is actually going to struggle even more in the next 2 years. Wrexham.
Yeah, because the Wrexham have now got not just they got some like investors are now back into the club now. Wherefore I remember I think they got a family that is now involved with Mark Elliott and Ryan Reynolds as well. So that's
Hmm.
interesting. For you said that could be that scenario as well. So yeah.
Hmm. And how many other Championship fans are going to say Wrexham? I'm barely a Championship fan. I'm just a football fan, but I barely watch Championship. When I do, it's fun. But who else is a Championship fan has thought of Wrexham?
That's true.
I'm always
That's
ahead of that curve, you know?
You have to be. Sometimes you have to be ahead of the curve and way ahead before the reality hits it. And to quite honest, yeah, the only best owners that I've seen that's done quite well in the championship is Coventry with Doug King. I think Derby,
Mm,
with their owner who's been transparent as well. They're the only two clubs, and even QPR. I know they're still owned by a few multiple ownership, but they at least a well-run club. And the same with Middlesbrough as well with Steve Gibson as well. But when it's like Wrexham in that situation, and even you could put Birmingham in that perspective as well, because they still have the Hong Kong owners in that club as
yeah,
well. So
exactly. There's so many elements to football clubs these days, and it's not going well. And I think the scary thing is what's that old saying? You don't get what you wish for, or whatever it is.
be careful
Uh,
what you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for. That's the one. Football fans are getting a lot these days about oh, they want XYZ to own their club, they want their owners out, but they don't know who they want to come in, and when the new owner comes in, they might be worse. I mean, I don't think I'll ever see an owner worse than the Glazers, but if that ever happens, then someone tell me. Um, but I've seen owners like Ian Murray sell the club for £1, and he ends up selling to someone who nearly killed a football club's fan base for life. Thankfully, it hasn't, but it still caused problems. And the Venkies, Blackburn, and all that crap. Like, there's so many horrible owners, and yet this is what I find funny. The Premier League in 1998, with the involvement of Man United fans, actively stopped Rupert Murdoch from
Yeah,
buying Manchester United for £630 million. And I brought this up on the channel before, and people said Ranger with Man United, they literally said we don't want Man United to be owned by Murdoch or anything like that because it's too much money and it'll just become a one league team. It'll be a one team league.
and it'd be a bias, especially when Sky was a sole owner TV rights, and they will put more games. Yeah,
Exactly. Even though when you look at the Premier League, even in the 1990s, when you think of the Premier League, and this is no disrespect to the likes of Chris or Doug or anyone else who watch the channel, even yourself, mate, your team was in the Premier League in the 1990s as well at a great pace. But when you think of the Premier League in the 1990s, what's the very first football club you think of?
Manchester United,
What's the first club you think of in the 2000s?
Manchester United,
And what's the first club you think of in the 2010s?
Manchester United,
And what club do you think about now?
Manchester City, Liverpool.
Yeah. But you're still going to get the news from Man United on pretty much every single show because it seems to just line up their pockets. Like, the media can't escape Man United. I'd love to know why. There's days where I would love my football club to have no media attention
Yeah,
and let someone else have the media attention because at least it keeps my club to try and deal with things behind the scenes, but we don't. And this is not an arrogance of what I've just said. What I've said is a genuine fact. And that's the problem. So they don't want Man United to be owned by the guy who pretty much owns the planet. Rupert Murdoch is literally so linked into this planet. Everything you do, he has an eye on, and it's perverted. But you fast forward, they don't let the club be sold to Murdoch, but they'll gladly let the club be sold to a loan, like a loan investment deal of 750 million quid on a club with no debt. Well, 50 million quid is barely any debt to a Premier League club.
no, it's
Still,
very now to this day and age. Yeah,
yeah. Man United in 2005 were £50 million in debt. The Glazers use a bank loan to then put it on the club. The club effectively went from £50 million in debt to 765 million in the space of 12 months.
yeah.
And it's now 1.5 billion pounds in debt. But because we generate so much money, we've got so much international revenue, we can continue to extend that. And I've said it before on channels that I've been on. I'm like, put transfer bans on Man United, put sanctions on the club because it'll get rid of the Glazers. But Those are the types of owners we'll allow in, but yet we get rid of Roman Abramovich, who is quite arguably the greatest owner in Premier League history.
I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that. I think that yeah, probably has been.
But
I have to.
we got rid of him because he's Russian. Like, Roman Abramovich is not a terrorist. Roman Abramovich is not someone who kills people for fun. He's a very shrewd businessman, very smart businessman who bought a football club in 2003
He had the option
and
to
never got back.
buy. He had the option to buy Tottenham, and he chose Chelsea.
Exactly. It's almost as if he knew ahead of time he didn't want a trophyless club. Like, it's almost as if he knew. And
Yeah.
that's he. To be fair, people think Chelsea's history is 2004 and all that, and they bought the Premier League, and I'm like, your Premier League, well, Division One champion in 1955, and they weren't allowed entry into the first European champion.
Exactly,
They
and
were
also
denied.
they beat us in those probably one of the greatest FA Cup finals in the
Hmm.
first final and then the replay. And
Yeah,
I like that, and that's why I thought when I see those archives and stuff as well when I go up to a Leeds fan and from a young child, I said yeah, I can see why those rivalries are important. Why
yeah.
Chelsea had really good play. Yeah,
It's the same arrogance. We all liked. Obviously, Chelsea didn't win another division for until it became the Premier League, and they didn't win it until 2004-05. But Chelsea, did people not forget that Chelsea in the 1990s won so many European competitions?
and the
Chelsea,
FA Cup as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
Chelsea won more European competitions in the 1990s than Man United. Man United were the most dominant team in the league, and they still have more European trophies than Man United to this day.
Mm.
Then that's well, we got the same. Well, obviously we've got more Champions Leagues, but they've got more Europa Leagues than us. They've got the Cup Winners' Cup, which we have. They've won it twice. We only won
Yeah.
it once. They've got more Super Cups than Man United. We've got the same amount of Club World Cups.
Yep.
But here's the honest truth. Chelsea's history is in circa 2004.
You could say the same thing with Man City when 2008 as well. Even Man City got
One, yeah, Man City won the division against us in 1967. Then 1966. Then we won it the year after to get into the European Cup when we won it in '68. Man City won the UEFA Cup in the 1970s. But Man City's history is 2008. No, we love to take the piss out of Man City, but Man City's history is deep. You can't ignore the fact that in 1999 in a Division One playoff final, Manchester City had 40,000 fans
mm,
at the old Wembley. How is that not history?
yeah, true.
Like, why is it? Because I get it, they're owned by sheiks. Nobody likes that, but who cares? We allowed Abramovich into the Premier League. The minute you allow foreign investors in, you can't dismiss any other owner. You can disagree with how they run things in their own countries. That's fine, but you can't deny them entry. It's absolute idiots, and this is why I take the mickey at Man City because they're rivals.
Yeah.
But I
And I
know
do the
their
same with
history.
you guys. I do the same with you guys. Same with the over Yorkshire club. Same with Chelsea.
Yeah, like I know Man United fans who act like there's Man United fans the other day. I'm not even kidding. That are using Grok to ask who the class in '92 are.
Wow. That yeah.
There's Man United fans who actively don't believe we got relegated in the 1970s, 6 years after winning the European Cup.
I'll tell
Like,
you what. I'll tell you. There's a documentary on TT Sports by John Cooper Cloud. Too good to go down. Watch that if
oh,
you
it's
if you
beautiful.
yeah.
It's a beautiful documentary. It's
I
painful
loved it.
for me,
I
but it's
actually
beautiful
did
to
love it,
watch.
especially as a rival fan. I loved it. I really did. I loved it. So
I love the way they talk about Charlton, and I love the way they talk about Dennis Law in that period, and I love the fact that this documentary literally goes, "For the love of God, can we stop blaming Dennis Law for Man United getting relegated?"
it was more. It was Birmingham beating Norwich, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. And I've said exactly. Now
it didn't.
the proof is in the pudding. He's not his fault. It was more you could Birmingham beating Norwich.
Yeah, Man City fans obviously will love to say it was Dennis Law, obviously one of Man United's greatest ever players, the original king. He's the one that downed Manchester United, but he did. The documentary, Michael, is called "Too Good to Go Down." It's
Yes.
honestly, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And you know what's even more interesting is a week later they brought out the Liverpool documentary, and that's also a good watch.
Yes.
Like, people need to remember how important history is. You can mock a football club in any way, shape, or form, but history is still important. And Chris, exactly that. Chelsea had Zola before 2002. Hibs Ladies Supporters Football Club.
Oh,
What's his?
it's Stefan. Stefan.
Stefan. What about the David Murray era at Rangers then? Which part? Which part? Just so I can answer your question. It's just those, and then Chris said they're spawned. It's just these TikTok bedroom bloggers who have no clue about football history just want to jump on narratives. They probably fancy Arteta too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they think the paella muncher is actually going to do anything for them, but it's not going to work. Like, I can't stand people like who just deny it. Like, have you seen what Lamine Yamal's been saying in the news ahead of the El Clasico tomorrow?
I heard something about it. I thought to myself, knowing him, I'm like, yeah, he's gonna say something about
I'm
this.
gonna I'm gonna send you something, right? Have you ever heard of the Man United fan called Matty UFC?
No, I
He,
haven't.
so he went to the Club World Cup, right? And he covered. He actually got because he lives in like America and all that, and he does like Fluminense content. Fluminense actually invited him to cover Fluminense's entire Club World Cup run, but he's a Man United fan, right?
Yeah,
I've just sent you something on YouTube. It's an Instagram reel that he posted. Look at what Lamine Yamal honestly said.
I've just seen the quotes here as well. Let
Look
me
at the shit Yamal said.
I let me read it.
On Sunday. Because the quotes, the things he said this week, less than a week before El Clasico, he might not make it out of the Bernabeu in one piece.
I hope he doesn't make out alive because he deserves what he gets. This is an 18-year-old talking about the greatest football club in history.
Wow, wow. Ooh, shit. They
Like,
see, yeah, they do steal and complain, rob and complain, yeah, and that's
but
what they
yeah,
do.
but yeah, he plays for Barcelona, and what do?
They rob, steal.
Steal, and
Yeah,
complain.
exactly, right, yeah. And even I say this as a Barcelona fan, I do say, yeah, you actually do technically steal, actually. So don't,
Hmm. Yeah.
oh my god, see?
And the fact he came out and said that, what about this Sunday? You won. He's like, no, I've won 4-4. Like, this is an 18-year-old that cocky talking
Talking,
down.
yeah, talking, but yeah.
I'm like, Jesus. Okay, so
Stefan, early 90s, early 2000s.
all right. So if you actually look at the 1990s, Ian Murray actually did invest his own
Is it
money.
David Murray?
Well, Ian Murray's a shit player, but he actually wanted to be called Ian Murray. That's the funny thing.
That's why. That makes
He
sense,
actually,
yeah.
he actually tried. He actually tried in an interview once to call himself Ian Murray, and someone went, "No, your name's David."
I did not know that, actually, yeah.
It's an interview somewhere. You'll be able to find it.
I'm gonna find it, yeah. I want to watch that, yeah.
But David Murray in the 1990s, if you actually look at it, he did invest his own money. Like, he did. The problem is obviously the early 2000s. The early 2000s is very sketchy. I'm not going to dismiss it. It is sketchy shit. But
Because
here's
Daniel Levy, his investment company that was owned by Joe Lewis, bought stake in the club, invested in the club, did it? They in that that
yeah,
1990s, yeah,
they did. Yeah, they did. And that was helping by the likes of Laudrup, Gaza, Haitley, all these great players. But Rangers' problem to an extent is Rangers wanted to go and hit the European market, and I get it. Rangers wanted to go, well, if the English clubs are banned from Europe, we've got the money. Let's see what we can do. And if you actually look at it, Rangers were one game away from being in the very first ever Champions League final. When it was rebranded the Champions League, they were very close. If it hadn't been for dodgy officiating by Marseille.
yeah.
And that's why I hate Marseille so much.
That makes more sense now than I thought. Yeah,
You know what's even worse? Marseille didn't match fix one match in the entire tournament, and it was the final against AC Milan. And yet they somehow still won it. Yeah. Sketchy. I hate them for that as well, because It's my Italian team, but like
Oh,
the
it
whole
is. I
Ra-
know.
but the whole like you could have had a Rangers AC Milan final if it hadn't been for match fixing, and they spent more money. And I'll credit where credit's due. Rangers 9 in a row is legit, just like Celtics 9 in a row are legit. So if anyone tries to say, "Oh, they didn't," "Oh, they cheated to win 9 in a row," no, Rangers didn't. Rangers did exactly what Celtic did. They had a genuinely amazing manager. They had a phenomenal team, and they were investing properly. What Rangers didn't do was prepare properly for the future. When Celtic came in and stopped 10 in a row, Rangers had an aging squad. They were relying on Gascoigne to do everything. He couldn't do it. And then they brought in Dick Advocat, who's a brilliant manager, and they thought, let's have a go at the Champions League. Let's see if we can do something in Europe.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, Juventus and AC Milan were still dominating Europe. Man United had just done the treble.
Yeah.
Real Madrid were back.
Back to
Real,
back. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
They did. Yeah.
Real Madrid were back winning European Cups. They won 3 in 5 years, 98, 2000, 2002. In between Bayern's last chance saloon and Man United. 2003, obviously, Celtic get the UEFA Cup and lost to Porto, a very important Porto team as well.
Before they won the Champions League the season after under a brilliant Jose Mourinho in his early days.
Yep,
Yeah.
and Ajax did the same thing. Ajax in 1993, 1994, Ajax won the UEFA Cup. 1995, Ajax won the Champions League. 1996, they get to the Champions League semi-finals. Again, they had a good run. Both this 1996, 97, sorry, they got to the semi-finals. 96, they got to the final when they lost. They tried to go back to back and they lost to Juventus, and then Juventus beat them in the 96, 97 semi-final.
Yeah.
And these are all very important things, but Rangers were spending so much money to compete in Europe that they couldn't balance it out, and that was simply spending that they couldn't justify. And Scottish clubs can't justify at the time £11 million on Torrand Flow. No one can
I
justify.
remember that move. I remember that move because I remember his first game. He actually scored in his debut against Celtic. I remember that game because it was the early days of Sky Sports Active. I'm like interactive. I'm like, yeah, I remember watching that game quite when I was a youngster. I learned about Scottish football. Yeah,
Yeah. You can't justify spending £11 million on Torrand Flow and then you sell him for 7.5. Like
to
you
bloody
lose
Sunderland. Yeah,
exactly. You lose money, and Rangers were well and good at spending money, but they were bad at making it back. And obviously it did come back to haunt them, but even during that dark period of the Ian Murray ownership, like that part, they still had Helicopter Sunday, the greatest moment, in my opinion, in the 2000s. The Helicopter Sunday is the greatest Premier League weekend finish of all time.
yeah.
And then you had, obviously, the domestic treble as well. Well, 2 domestic trebles under Alex McLeish. Like, these are all moments, but you're still getting things wrong by bringing in players who do nothing and you can't sell on. Rangers' biggest sale in the 2000s was Alan Hutton and Gina Lane Boomsong.
Bloody hell, what really? Oh yeah, I knew Alan Hunt was, but I didn't know about Boomsong as well. Yeah,
7.5 million Boomsong was sold for.
wow,
And Alan Hutton was sold for 9 million.
9 million. Yeah,
Yeah. The 2010s, obviously, Naismith left, Jelic left, big losses. Rangers signed Aluko for 250k. That was still a crazy signing, but he was awesome. But it was selling it to the fact that the club was sold, and even when they were in administration, Rangers were still bought from that wanker, and they still put them into the third division. Now, I get it if they did, but they should have put them in the third division without the liquidation. They were already bought by then.
yeah.
So it made no sense why you would still do that.
Which wanker, Craig Wright or Charles Green?
God, Craig White.
Yeah.
Charles Green was another awkward story. Like, he had it and then all of a sudden he just disappeared. Dave King's just as bad. But he sold the club obviously to the new owners who have gave the job to Kevin Philwell, who's gave his son the head scout job, and he couldn't scout shit from a stain.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about
And
Well,
now they've gave the job to Danny Rowe, and I'm sorry, but Danny Rowe, I said it before, I like Danny Rowe as a manager, but it's the wrong guy. It should have been Kevin Muscat.
I know, and I was going to come on to that now actually because it's a big game for him against Kilmarnock tomorrow in his
Yep.
first home fixture. We're going to get to the European stuff now, actually, the EU competitions. But start with Rangers. That was a disappointed defeat at Brand, losing 3-0. And what was your take on it?
It's all about the bran flakes. I think Bran actually are a decent side. I've watched them plenty of times in Europe the past couple of years, but like the crazy thing is Rangers. So the amount of money that Rangers spent can contrast to Bran. Rangers should not be losing to them, but
Mm,
it shows that Rangers lost because they're badly managed. It's badly run with the club and the ownership as well. Bringing in certain individuals who just don't know what they're doing. Kevin Philwell, the fact he gave the head scout job to his son, like they brought in some decent players, but there's some players who just don't suit Rangers at all.
yeah, a bit of nepotism right there, actually.
Yep. And then you give the job to Danny Rowe, who the biggest club he's managed is Sheffield Wednesday. I understand that, but this is a whole different situation. Rangers needed a steel but proper manager who understands the club. Rangers should have just gave the interim job to Neil McCann until November 22nd and just get Kevin Muscat. Kevin Muscat told them straight away, I will take the job, but I want to finish this season first.
Yeah.
And then they backed out. And I'm like, why would you back out? He agreed terms. I think the reason why, and I feel sorry for Danny Rowe, I'm about to say this because I don't think this of him, but I think he is. Now, it makes sense. I think Rangers backed out of that 1.5 million compensation because Danny Rowe, even though he was available on a free, I feel he'll gladly accept what's available to him. I think Danny Rowe's coming and being a yes man. And I hate to say that about a German manager, but I think Danny Rowe is going to be a yes man.
Mm,
Whereas Kevin Muscat would be, no, to play my style of football, I need this, this, this.
yeah.
And I think Kevin Philwell, same with Gerrard. I didn't want Gerrard back anyway, but Gerrard doesn't like a sporting director. He likes to run everything plus the owner.
Owner, yeah.
And I think Muscat in a way would have been the same. Kevin Tillwell's job would have been effectively at stake if Muscat came in, but I would rather Kevin Muscat because he knows what he's doing and he has much better access to better markets and he understands Scottish football. But no, I like Danny Rowe and I hope he does well, but not. I think they'll regret giving him the job if he ends up playing that high pressing German football that I like. Then okay, but Muscat's is the exact same way, but Muscat's got more experience of winning trophies. He's got more experience at a higher level.
Yeah.
I think this is a massive mistake. I thought he was going back to Germany as well.
Everyone thought he was as well. Actually, I thought there was a chance he was going to go back to Germany, but I think even Chris said the same thing. We all thought dead on he was going to go back to Germany, but it's surprising he's still linked to his. You never know what's going to happen at Carrow Road at the moment. I thought to myself because I think when Michael mentioned it the other day, because the Norwich, I said to him, I don't think so. I said that he's more likely to go to Rangers, and I got proved right with that one as well. So. Yeah, for that matter of fact, yeah, I'm surprised
Great question, Michael.
yeah, that's a good question. I'll let you answer that before.
Yeah, I'll gladly answer that. I don't know if you saw it last week, but we actually touched up on it last week, Michael. Gerrard, for me, I still consider a failure as a Rangers manager.
Despite you had the unbeaten season,
Despite them being season, I still consider him a failure. And the reason why is I was at every single European game during the home games, including the group stages and the qualifying games. I was at all of them. I was at preseason tour matches over here, but I honestly think he is a failure. And the reason why is, as it is, you look at what he won at Rangers, one league championship, unbeaten. That's it. This is a time when Celtic were on decline. He didn't even challenge for backing or investment. He was like, we'll just carry on. He just carried on, and I'm like, to hell with you. Like, and then another thing as well with Gerrard I don't like is how fast he tuck-tailed and went, yeah, of course, and ran off down south. He ran as quick as he could to Aston Villa. The minute a manager, and this is going to sound crazy, and I'm to a Villa fan, they'll probably disagree, but Rangers are still a bigger club than Aston Villa.
Well, that's a bold statement, especially if Villa has won the Champions League. Yeah.
And I know Rangers have only won a Cup Winners' Cup, but Rangers also have far more international success, far more international pedigree than Aston Villa, far more trophies. Rangers are the third most successful club in football history,
Yeah.
behind Real Madrid and Al Ahly. And for the longest time, Rangers were the second most successful club. Real Madrid only picked them over the last couple of seasons. Celtic are close as well to catching them. That's another true fact.
That's true. That is true.
Milan are up there as well, but like Gerrard only one trophy out of, I think, 12. He didn't win a Scottish Cup. He didn't even win a League Cup here when his teams were favourable. I'm sorry, but that's not acceptable for a Rangers manager.
With his pedigree,
Yep.
With his pedigree, yeah.
And that team that won the league should have won the domestic treble.
I would agree with that, hands down. Yeah, I think you should have won that treble.
You look at Postecoglou. Postecoglou didn't go unbeaten here, but Postecoglou at least still won treble after treble. Brendan Rodgers won back-to-back trebles. Rangers haven't done a treble since 2003, I believe.
It's a long time.
2002 season, I think, was the last time Rangers did a domestic treble. And that was it was 2002 because it was the Lovenkrands final.
Yes.
The Lovenkrands. 2003. No, Rangers did do it in 2003.
They did. They did.
Arteta schooled it. Yeah, 2002 was just back and forth, Rangers and Celtic winning the trophies. 2003 was domestic treble because Arteta actually played like a human being, didn't act like a dick.
That's true. He never did, actually. When he was at Rangers, I think he was one of the most important players, yeah.
Yeah, I loved Arteta as a player. As a manager, he thinks he's Simeone, but he isn't like that. He needs to start acting like a normal person. Doug, that joke really can't take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Ham are absolutely done. They're dead.
Yeah, I said that. I said it earlier this week, and you know, the set pieces that they've considered more goals from corners after 9 games. 9 corners. We'll talk about West Ham shortly as well, but yeah.
Do you know? Funnily enough, I asked Doug a question last night, and he never gave me an answer. I was like, "What's our computer's favorite sauce?"
Oh yeah.
No, he didn't even give me an answer. I burst out laughing on his joke, but he didn't even figure mine out. What's the computer's favourite sauce?
That is a good point, actually. Yeah.
Honestly, it'll make you laugh.
Go on, Ed.
HP.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. That is so true. HP. Yeah, fuck me. Yeah. I thought about it. I thought it can't be HP. I thought, yeah, it is, yeah. So
it's even funnier. On the laptop on my left is a Dell laptop. On the laptop on my right is a HP, and then one in the middle is a Venmo. I've got three different monitors that I use at home for everything.
Fair. I have one. Ultra wide on it.
Look at that! I finally broke Doug.
You have, yeah, yeah. You've broken him. You've broken him.
I can't believe even because we use HP laptops. For work. I'm surprised Doug didn't even figure that
out. Oh my god!
That's a good a moment as last week beating Liverpool 2-1.
Yeah, I know. Actually, we are going to talk about Champions League and the European competitions, and a good weekend for the English teams, not good weekend for good week for the Scottish teams. But start off with Liverpool.
Chris.
Yeah.
I hit him with a taste of the Gengars.
Mine is Lenovo, yeah.
Oh, you're in a Lenovo now? You jammy bugger.
Let's talk about the Champions League. Liverpool come away with a 5-1 at transfer after that 2-1 defeat against you guys. But I've finally found a system where you can now play Ekitika and Isak in the same squad and drop in Salah.
What did I say 2 weeks ago? What did I say on the show 2 weeks ago about
Yeah.
Liverpool? I'm actually going to bring up right now just to prove to everybody that I hate the fact that I bloody called it. I actually called it. I feel disgusted with myself. I'm going to see if I can get it.
If you can get it, yeah.
Let's see. Was it either 2 weeks ago or it was last? No, it wasn't last week's show. It was definitely 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, where is it? Was the 11th? No, that was no that one. It was just you and me last week. Was it last week?
Yeah, it was last week. Drop Salah, we play well. When you say drop Mohamed Salah, and you said, I think you did say something about that. It was no, because 2 weeks ago was international break.
Yeah, it might be in the show on the 4th of October. I'm gonna have a quick look on that show. Let me just have a look. There's something I'm looking for.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
might be in that. Is it on that show? I'm just looking. Yep, there it is. How funny is it that I literally said about Liverpool? I'm gonna put myself on full screen.
Go
Now,
on then.
Now, bear in mind the only difference is I had Salah in this,
You did.
but look at what I predicted
It
too.
was, I know. It was right. It was the T. It was the T. Yes, we got it here right now. Yeah.
That was the 4th of October. The 4th of October, I called that Liverpool would go to a diamond midfield.
Hmm.
And I hate that. I called it all along.
I know you did. I know you called it all along. Michael, I know it wasn't a good week for English clubs. I meant the English clubs in the Champions League, not the Europe. I know about the European Conference League, but I meant in the Champions League. So, yeah, apologies for that. But yeah, you're right. You're right. You were right. What you said. Go in the diamond the diamond mid. Yeah, and you proved right. And you proved it right.
I done all that, the switching stuff. There was the back three. Did I get the other one they played as well? Let me just double check.
Yeah.
Nope, never mind. That's our mugs. But yep, diamond midfield. And I said it. That's exactly all they needed to do.
You called it. You called it completely.
Damn, that's painful.
You called it, and I was surprised you called it. I thought, my God, he's finally figured a way out after losing to Manchester United. You lose to Manchester United and you figured it out against Frankfurt. I'm surprised my former player, Christensen scored against Liverpool in the opening minute. I was surprised about that. I was like, why is it always Leeds players scoring? I was like, yeah, I don't know. It was surprising, but yeah, Liverpool with the performance. Looks like should be fit for today after he went off injured at halftime. But it was a performance that Liverpool needed, especially the last couple of weeks. Losing 4 on the trot. There's nothing
really badly. Yeah, I think the only thing though about Liverpool, and this is the thing about their fans that need to be careful of. A good friend of mine, Bar Doug and Chris, obviously are Liverpool fans. There's a Liverpool fan that I do a podcast with, and he's like, "Oh, we absolutely smashed them. We're back. We'll beat Brentford on Monday." And I was like, Brentford are just going to sit back and play low block, and they will play the long ball when necessary. But you kind of just get so cocky. You might beat them, but I don't think you're going to smash them.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you do, fair play. But don't get so cocky because you've been absolutely woeful this season.
I know. And against a Brentford side, despite all the doubts, tonight, despite the doubts of Keith Andrews, he's actually becoming a good, decent manager, and he will find a weakness like he did against Man United when they played at Man United a couple of weeks ago. So
exactly, and I said the exact same words that Chris just said. I said the same words to my mate. It's literally bloody Frankfurt. Like Frankfurt are letting in so many goals. Frankfurt are a perfect definition of a new concept of stripper clubs. They don't get the relegated version of stripper club. They get stripped and bared and beaten badly.
Yeah,
Frankfurt have got the kink for conceding goals.
Yeah,
they're the goals conceding kinky club. That's Frankfurt.
Yeah, very much as well. It is.
So I'll tell you, there's something as well. Maybe Doug or Chris will answer this, and I find this really surprising. So correct me if I'm wrong. Liverpool against Frankfurt started Isak and Ekitike up front.
Yes.
They played the diamond. I can't remember. I called the system, but I don't know who they played. Did they play Verts behind them, or was he on the bench?
Verts behind him, yeah, player Verts behind him. Gap. No, I think Gakpo's playing behind him. Verts was in the midfield.
So it was pretty much near enough what I predicted, except I
Yeah,
had Verts in the 10. But I still had either way Liverpool playing a diamond or a 4-2-2-2, depending on what they wanted to do. I had both systems. Now here's the part I want to. Maybe you've seen this as well, but I'm hoping maybe Chris or Doug will be able to confirm this. Is it true that Mo Salah came out? He came out after the game and complained because he was dropped.
that is. I see that.
I seen a report this. I saw it as a 4-2. See, I was thinking it was either that or a 4-4-2 diamond.
There has
Either
been,
way.
yeah, yes, there was, yes, that did come out actually, yeah, that has been
So,
true. It's been,
Salah complained he got dropped.
yeah, yeah, it's been mentioned in the Liverpool Echo. Yeah, it has been.
I thought I was just seeing jokes.
No, you're not. And yeah, it's been reported in multiple sources. It's like what Chris said. Like Chris said, Virts was the left central midfielder. Gapper was a 10. Yeah,
Got it.
so, yeah. So I look at it. You know, that is what we have heard. And yes,
As far as I'm concerned, I don't say this often, but Jamie Carragher literally said it. Well, he said it after the Man United game
he
that
did, and he got it, and he's
Salah-
right.
Salah's position should now no longer be untenable in terms of a first team player.
Oh, and also Chris said there was a video of Salah throwing his tracks aggressive before coming on.
I'm gonna say something very important. Remember what I said as well? Was it a month ago?
Yeah,
It was before we did the tactical show that we did, well, the tactical interferences we did on the show. Didn't I not say that by the end of the season, Liverpool need to move on either Van Dijk or Salah,
yes.
or maybe both? I think Liverpool should sell Salah in January.
I think the curtain's on the wall with that one now because I think and Jerry Cargo was right. He said you can't play him in all the games, and even Chris said he's
Yeah,
now
he
playing,
did.
he dropped
Yeah,
a
he
long
did.
time. I
Mhm.
think there's a question as to who was the priority to get that contract done. Was it Van Dijk or Salah? I said,
Your club captain.
yeah, the club
Even
captain.
though I think Van Dijk realistically as well should be moved on the next 2 years because he's another issue for Liverpool in a different way.
Yeah,
It's his injuries. He's still an important leader, but his injuries are their biggest problem.
yeah,
Liverpool's entire back line is injury prone. It's really bad for them, but it's good for us. But it's bad for them. But I don't like wishing injuries on people. But the more issues they have, the worse it's going to get for them in the long run. But
mm,
in terms of Salah, if you honestly act like that, then who are you? I'm sorry, but like that type of behavior says a lot. Like I know Salah's a brilliant footballer. I'm not going to deny that.
no, we can't take that away from him.
Yeah,
But
if Liverpool have a brilliant result, like even though it's against a team that ship goals for fun, you have a brilliant result against them, and you get the win. They didn't even need to bring Salah on, but they did. I think that says more about the fact that maybe realised Liverpool should have just done it to begin with. Another thing as well, and this is a thing that really annoys me, Arne Slot is continuously making digs at Man United about
yeah,
how we played in the derby, and I'm like, mate,
you can't.
like
Yeah,
did we play the long ball against Liverpool? Yes.
yes, you did.
Did we use it for the whole 90 minutes?
No,
Exactly. So why is Arne Slot moaning and complaining about us using the long ball? I'm sorry, but do you expect us just to play short passing and hope that we get turned over every week? No, shut your mouth, you bald cunt. Like, the fact, I was surprised that Man United actually used the long ball. But I'm glad we did, because it's
it was
about
very
time.
effective. Yeah,
Yeah, and here's another thing as well. Here's a funny thing. If we were so bad, how come you couldn't get past Sam Lamons? Sorry, Sen Lamons. I call him Sam because he has a Sam face. He has a face of Sam.
hey,
But
that would be his nickname, like Mike Smaller, Chris Smalling.
exactly, he is our Uncle Sam of goalkeepers. He's 21. He's like 21 to 23 age bracket.
Yeah,
He comes to Liverpool. He's had back to back. According to the SofaScore ratings, he's had back to back 8.5 plus match ratings.
I know.
And this is a guy who people were scared. I was not sure about him first. I was uncertain he would do well. He's literally come in. He's gave us a defensive bracket. We will climb the league now. Like we will climb the table because of him in goal. I don't know how he'll do it against Brighton, but I actually think with him in goal, I feel so confident in these games. I feel more relaxed. I feel like he's so good, and I'm like, you cannot just say, "Oh, it was a long ball, that's why we lost." No, Emblemo didn't even. It wasn't even a long ball when Emblemo scored after 1
No, it
minute.
wasn't after 2 minutes. Yeah.
It was a direct pass, which is fun enough what Liverpool do. Direct passing. We just broke your defensive line whilst Van Dijk was too busy twerking.
Well,
So,
either twerking and then knocking his own play out and not play down. Like,
and they
oh,
tried to get a free kick over it. They tried to get the goal disallowed when it wasn't even our player.
yeah, no, I know exactly. So,
So I hate this delusion, and Arne Slot really he is going to end up becoming so dislikable the way he talks about football teams. Like that's not even reasonable.
no,
So
and that's something that we got to watch out for over the course of the season,
I feel
especially because he when he called Newcastle a small club, and then he how he responded like, "Listen, I'm not taking this shit. We beat you 2-1 in the Carabao Cup final. You're not a small club, you bald-headed bastard."
yeah, exactly. I just think he is so for a man who's won a Premier League in his first season, he's so immature. Like he's so immature as a manager. Like what is it with him? He's think he's got this entitled right to talk about football clubs the way they do. Like it's a joke.
Mm,
We were the better team. We won the game fair and square. We even conceded a goal that was a shock to me anyway. I said even to Doug. Doug will back me up. I literally said 5 minutes before Liverpool scored, I will be very surprised if Liverpool score because they've been so bad today. Doug will back me up on that. But then Liverpool scored, and what happened 2.5 minutes later? We're back in the lead thanks to Big Square.
Slabhead scored the winner, which I did not expect. I call him
Yeah,
Slaphead, but everyone calls it Slabhead. I call it Slaphead. I'm like,
I call him 83 Team of the Week card in my ultimate team. But I'm like, and I'm not a big fan of Maguire, but I'll still celebrate any goal he does. And he's become so integral either off the bench or when he starts. But I feel like against Liverpool, I called out the team selection for the match started. I was like, this is a bad idea, yet we won the game.
I know.
And I'm like, I'm happy with that. But you can't always say, oh, a team play. He expects teams to just come out and play easy for them and hope they get turned over. No,
No,
like you have to find different ways to win. We were direct, we were compact. When we needed to be, we were defensive and we hit on the counter. Exactly what Liverpool do, but they just want to think it's pretty all the time. But here's another thing, and we said this as well. Liverpool have been relying far too much on late goal winners and all
yeah,
that added time. Justify 8 minutes from last Saturday.
Sunday.
Sorry, Sunday. I was thinking of Saturday because it was a quieter day.
Yeah,
Where does that 8 minutes come from? And I'm like, that is seriously sus. Like any means necessary to make sure Liverpool don't lose that game, and they did. So
yeah,
hold that. You beat Frankfurt, good result for you. You played a style and a system that actually suits the players you have. Because too many central players.
mm,
Hmm.
yeah. That's what I was exactly. Yeah, I just think, like I
Said
said,
that said that as well, and
yeah,
Gakpo as well. Gakpo on the wing. Gakpo is crap. Gakpo is so much better playing through the middle.
yeah,
So keep the diamond. Use your wing. Now you've got a system where you can play in games where you need to play Connor Bradley as a defensive fullback. In some games, you can play Frimpong as a wing back and let him come forward.
exactly.
That
Yeah,
works so well, but they need to be careful. Here's another thing as well, and that Milos Kerkez, I like him, but he is becoming a very quick flop. He is being so bad at Liverpool.
I think that, yeah, especially a big move going to from Bournemouth. You knew, I thought he should with that price that he should be hitting the
He should
form
be.
like that, but he
He is
hasn't.
struggling, yeah.
He has struggled. He's been struggling, and I think, like I said, Slot has to take him out now for the just more on the bench, so he can, because this is a development for him. He's still not
Yeah.
he's not that complete player that you're gonna get. So yeah, ooh, Michael's made a good question actually. Is this Liverpool team more of a Klopp team still, or an Slot team?
Oh, I've always went by the opinion, no matter who the manager is, when that manager comes in, it becomes their team. You can have investments from the past, as Mourinho famously said.
Yeah.
But the minute you become the manager, it's your team.
True.
You've got to take it on in your own way.
Yeah.
They might not be the players you signed, but they're the players you manage. You've got to find a way to make it work. If you can't make it work, then you get sacked.
Yeah.
I
Very
don't think there's more of a is it a Klopp team or is it an Arne Slot team. I just think it's a team that is struggling to figure out what it needs to be.
Yeah, I agree as well because even Klopp was speaking on the Daily of the CEO podcast earlier this week as well, actually, and he did talk about the investment that Liverpool's made. He would as what he said as well. So, and I need to watch a bit more about that, but I did look at his quotes and it was
That
actually,
annoyed me as well. He came across as spineless when he spoke about the United job.
yeah, I heard, and me and Andrew both, I think that at the time because if you had Ed Woodward in. Of course, he's got top spies because Ed Wood was there, so he wouldn't even come to club when Ed Wood was.
See what he spoke about. Oh, I was told that we can buy any player you want. We can bring this player in for you, that player back. And Klopp, you just reinvented German football with Borussia Dortmund. You had so much say at Dortmund with Vatska beside you as your sporting director. Are you telling me after 7 years at Dortmund, you won two Bundesligas, you won the DFB Pokal in your second season as a League and Cup double. You got to a Champions League final and you narrowly lost it playing beautiful football against a brilliant Bayern team.
With Jupp Heynckes in that
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you telling me a man who's got so much backbone and spine and someone who is outspoken and demands so much, are you telling me that you couldn't even go up to Ed Woodward and say, no, I don't want XYZ, but this is what I want and I can do this for you? Like, he comes across as so spineless. And I'm like, Liverpool, he got a lot of say and a lot of power. If he had had a bit of backbone with Ed Woodward would have given him what he wanted. I feel like he really is a spineless little bitch. He's a great manager, but he came across as spineless when he spoke about the Man United job. Jurgen Klopp I've always respected for his style of football and his success. But I lost some respect for him the way he spoke about the Man United job and how he came across in that interview. It is so incredibly spineless.
Yeah.
He sounds to me like he's like, oh, I don't want the best players. I don't want all this. You could have turned players into the best players. You could have turned a team into a great team. You just chose not to because you were a coward.
Yeah, I know he's not. I know he's not. He's not rubbed off of some of my United fans this past couple of days, this past week. So
exactly, Klopp wanted Nunes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is true. That is true. And look what happened to Nunes.
Exactly. There was something as well that he said in that interview that was really funny to me. When he spoke about, oh, they wanted to bring back Cristiano Ronaldo if I get the job. They wanted to bring back Paul Pogba and all that. And I don't want, those are not my type of players. But I'm like, mate, you signed Mo Salah, who isn't your type of player either, but you made him one of your players.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just think that's, and then he said that team that won the Premier League in 2012-13 was set up to fail. If he came in, he would have had Van Persie, Premier League top goal scorer.
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney, who, to be fair, was 30. You still could have got something out of him. Michael Carrick was 29. You had De Gea, who would have been a great goalkeeper under De Gea.
Yep.
Under Klopp.
Ferdinand,
Ferdinand Vidic would have been... He could have phased him out in his own way. He would have had Shinji Kagawa.
Yeah.
Chicharito, Hernandez. Michael Carrick would have been perfect for him because he would have had a perfect holding midfielder for his style of football.
Yes.
He would have had... he would have had a young Adnan Januzaj. He would have had Wilfred Zaha coming in that he would have got to coach properly. Like, that Man United team, yes, there were some aging players in there, but that was a Man United team that had something that Klopp's team did as well when they got to the Champions League final. They had a lethal goal scorer.
Yes.
They played the same system. They played the 4-2-3-1. They had a ruthless playmaker that could play a striker as well in Wayne Rooney. And they also had a team that was gritty, hungry, and could definitely run.
Oh yeah, 100%, hands down.
So
Yeah.
so Klopp actually had the team that he could have just made changes to. Man United was actually tailor made for him in 2013. Him or Jose Mourinho would have been right there and then. It would have worked so well. But he just comes across as spine. I wanted Klopp before any other manager in 2013. I
Mm.
wanted Klopp. Even though Ancelotti was available, Mourinho was there until Chelsea got him. Pep was on sabbatical. I wanted Jurgen Klopp. I wanted Jurgen Klopp when David Moyes got sacked. I wanted Van Gaal out the job after his first season, even though it wasn't his fault. When Klopp was talking about leaving, I was like, just go and get him now. Because you never know who gets him. Fast forward, October 2015. Where does Klopp go? Klopp goes to Merseyside. And he gets to a European final in his first season. Well, the first season he gets to the Europa League final and he loses to Sevilla. And I'm like, that could have been you in the Man United job, mate. But no. So I think it's absolutely stupid that he said that squad was set up to fail. He didn't need to do much. He could have invested differently. Yes, Man United would have spent, but Man United would have spent for him. So I don't get why he's saying, oh, it wouldn't have worked. I think he was just afraid of the challenge.
Yeah, yeah. Because I still think even before they got Moyes, my United was still title challengers top four. And I do agree what Chris said. In my mind, it would have been,
Yeah.
yeah.
We should have gave the job to Klopp. I get we didn't. It happened. We move on. But if that's the way you come across in an interview, imagine what you say about Liverpool if fast forward down the years. If that situation comes up again,
Well, time will tell. Karma comes around to everyone, mate. So,
Absolutely. But Liverpool, they've switched to a system that I actually do like as well, thanks to likes of Rangnick and Nagelsmann, etc. I like the 4-2-2-2 because it's a good utilization of the wing backs and number 10s, and it's a good old fashioned front two partnership.
that can work in the modern game.
Yeah, and I like this system. I think a 4-3-3 is fun, a 4-2-3-1 is fun, but the big target man is coming back, and if you've got a mobile striker beside him, it's fun. Liverpool can use Isak as the 9. Ekitike can drop off. Gakpo can do that as well. There's games where they can play Wirtz in the 10. They can play Gakpo up front with Isak, or if they drop Isak for Ekitike beside Gakpo, they can do that now.
Yeah.
It works. So I'm like, there's methods to your madness. Liverpool got a big win for them, fair play. In terms of the other clubs in Europe, for the English clubs, well, we saw that for the Europa and the Conference Leagues, but but the Champions League clubs, it was a good week for them.
It was a good week, especially for Arsenal beating Atletico Madrid 4-0 and Gyökeres get 2 goals in the game. And we see now the real Victor Gyökeres is being played. That's being played to how he plays. Like he did play at Sporting Lisbon.
I'm not sure if Victor Yokozuna is still showing it yet, but I'm waiting for him to drop a Banzai drop. But he did get some good goals. He did get a very strong performance. I was surprised by the scoreline.
Yeah, same. I thought it was going to be a bit closer game than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I was honestly shocked, but it's a big win for Arsenal. Can they take it on to something? I don't know, but they have to make it count. If they don't make it count, then they're going to be another. It's going to be
out of the 600 clubs in the Champions League, are they the most best, well-suited team to get further than the other teams in the Champions League?
If you're being truly honest, yeah, they are. Defensively, they're so well organised. They can score goals from anywhere except from open play. Like they look serious when they want to be. If they can get that right, they'll be just fine.
Yeah, absolutely as well. Chelsea beat Ajax 5-1 as well. They had the very changed squad, Chelsea, but
Esteval.
He's a good buy. He's a good purchase. I'm surprised. I'm glad. Real Madrid would have been all over him before, but Chelsea got
and ruined him. They would have ruined him as well, like they've ruined Endrick.
And then now Endrick wants to leave. Might leave alone in January. So
yeah,
it's going to be interesting which club gets him as well. Yeah. Other results as well. Man City beating Villarreal 2-0 as well. I have to say, what a shocker week for Napoli. They lost 6-2 at PSV. Very surprising result. And also the namesake of my name, Karl, Leonard Karl, scoring his first goal. I can't believe that there's a player that's named is named after me completely. So yeah, 17.
Napoli are in huge trouble.
Yeah, huge game tonight against Inter Milan they have tonight as well.
Whoever wins that, if Inter Milan win that game, they'll go top after Milan's shot draw last night.
Yeah,
That really infuriated me last night.
yeah, no, I was shocked about that result as well. I just couldn't believe how I thought.
Same thing happened against Cremonense. They lost to a newly promoted team. They dropped points to a newly promoted team. Milan should have battered them last night, but they didn't. So
Yeah, yeah.
Roma, or I think it's Inter, Roma, or I don't think Napoli can go top of the league. I think it's Inter, Roma,
Inter Roma can go top of the league tonight. Yeah, this weekend.
Atalanta. I think Atalanta could for a little bit, but it's only temporary. Milan will be back on top of the league next week anyway.
Well, we'll see. We'll see as well. Yeah, other
So
results.
hopefully Napoli do me a favour.
Yeah, other results. Newcastle United beating Benfica 3-0. A good performance for
Yeah,
Newcastle. Harry Barnes getting the brace as well. So, can Newcastle do well to get to the knockout stage? Not beyond the quarterfinals, but get to the last 16.
it's possible. I think they've finally found their means again. They've found their style. They've got back to their winning ways. I think they could, and I agree, Chris. Conte conceding that many goals. I don't think I've ever seen a Conte team concede 6.
No, not as that. I've seen it as 3 when he conceded against Arsenal once, but not take when when he's at Chelsea, but not takes that like that before.
Yeah.
And I could say the same for Bayer Leverkusen, losing 7-2 to PSG as well.
Both teams 10. How it finished 7-2, both teams 10 men is beyond me.
It is well bewilderment, yeah. And I think this was the most goals scored in the league stage. What 71 goals that broke the record now, which is especially the loads of goals that was conceded, especially Inter Milan winning 4-2, Dortmund winning 4-2 at Copenhagen, Barcelona beating Olympiacos 6-1. Yeah, it was a crazy high number of goals this week.
It was 43 goals on the first game night. Well,
Yeah.
from that, out of the 2 game nights we've had this week, there was 43
Tuesday
goals.
was 42, yeah, and then Wednesday was 30 something, yeah.
Yeah, it's mental. And I agree with that, Chris. I think Waltmade's a brilliant signing. Another thing as well, that's Germany's new number 9 slotted now if they can just keep him firing.
Yeah,
That's that if he stays injury free and he goes to the World Cup, he's gonna have a good World Cup, I think.
he will. I think he will do as well too. Look at the Europa League as well. Like I said, with less about Rangers talk about the better. Villa losing 2-1 at Go Ahead Eagles. That was a bit of a shock result, and especially Brent Dean missed Skydy's penalty over as well.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I don't know what's going on with Villa right now. I really don't.
No, I think there's questions about what that marks about them as well too. Celtic finally winning 2 against Stone Grants. Not it's like what happened to Rangers where they could beat Stone Grants, but not everyone can beat Stone Grants. But when you're Celtic, you can.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with Celtic though, because I'm still not convinced, and I think Rodgers will be soon out the door.
I see that as well too. So we'll talk about the game for tomorrow against Hearts as well. Nottingham Forest getting the win against Porto 2-0. And then Nottingham Forest getting back to basics now on the dice now. Playing the right players in the role.
It was a good result against Porto. I was very surprised. Like, I didn't expect him to win the first game. I thought maybe a draw. But his first European game since his Burnley days. I think Sean Dyche went 10 years for a European match. And he has to play a 2-time European Cup winner, multi-time UEFA Cup winner, and
Champions League winner. Yeah,
they won both. They've won it twice each, I think. No, they have won it twice each. Yeah, they've won. They've won it twice each. The fact that they've done that, and then they've got a decent team, and Dyche still beat them. Wild.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting how he does well against Bournemouth tomorrow as well. In the conversation, have you a disappointing week for Aberdeen? Conceded 6 against away at AEK Athens. Another disappointed week. It's their worst ever European defeat. Jimmy Telling's time is up, isn't it? But when it's going to happen, we don't know.
I hate to say it, but it has to be the end of this weekend.
If they don't beat Hibs, yeah.
Yeah, if they don't beat Hibs, it's over.
Yeah, it is as well. Oh, Crystal Palace losing to AEK Lankara 1-0 as well. The first home game you've been called the proper and then lost as well. Yeah. the Cypriot team just played very well against Palace on Thursday night as well. But as I say, it's a bit of a reality check, you know, especially now Palace have been on a bit of a loser streak at the moment after losing to Everton, which ended their unbeaten run. So which stretches back to last season.
Absolutely, and Chris, you're absolutely right. Forest were always good at defending.
Yeah, they were, and that's always been a good defensive team, and that's why I think why they did well to stay up, why they shot up needed to get to the Champions League last season. There's a reason why for it. So yeah, it's interesting with that one. So you have all the European stuff done, but let's talk about one other thing. I was going to ask you this is the huge game tomorrow for Celtic at Tynecastle against Hearts. What's your perspective on it? Because it looks like this, you know, even though Celtic got the win on Thursday, but the way they lost to Dundee on last Sunday, it's a huge reality check for them now, especially going against a side that doesn't have not got no other football they need to play other than league football now. They don't have to play anything until the Scottish Premiership, like says as us Jambos. Where do you think this game's going to be won or lost tomorrow?
For me, the opening 20 minutes are very crucial for Celtic. Celtic need to get an early goal and actually just keep the ball away from Hearts. I think if Hearts can just maintain some possession and just work hard, they will really do well. I think Hearts aren't just scoring well, they're also defensively solid. McInnes has done really well with you guys. You're 5 points clear. You still haven't lost a league match yet. Celtic have finally lost their first league match, coincidentally against a former Hearts captain and Celtic player, Stephen Presley.
I know.
They have drew a game. You guys have drew a game, but these have not lost. These are 5 points clear. I think, regardless of the situation, Hearts can't afford... I'm going to say this now. Anything other than a Hearts win is bad tomorrow. If Hearts even get a draw, that's bad. They have to win. There's no
Celtic.
other way around it. No, I'm saying like Hearts have
to win. Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, this is as much as a must-win game for Celtic. This is a must-win for Hearts because a draw for them is a bad decision.
Well, here's the thing.
I agree with that.
I do agree with that. I thought he would have been more tested against Hibs the other week. I thought he was going to be more tested.
Hibs were ranked rotten. Hibs were. I called that scoreline. I said 1-0 Hearts, but that should have been more.
Yeah,
Hibs were ranked rotten.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how they fare tomorrow. But Celtic have been wasting a shitload of chances, and I think it's funny how last week there was a huge argument between. Last week there was a huge argument between Chris Sutton and Chris Boyd.
I saw it. Yeah,
about what's wrong at Celtic, and Chris Boyd is like, it's not just the players, but it's like Brendan Rodgers. When does Brendan Rodgers finally start taking accountability? And then Chris Sutton went, it's down to recruitment. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but Celtic have spent so much money.
You spent loads more modern Rangers over the last 4 years, and you can't even and you're telling me you still can't get it to when you didn't want to let Maeda go because he was let him stay, but Maeda should have left this summer, and I thought the one club that would have suited, I'm gonna say this, I think he would have suited Leeds because we needed someone,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, and Sutton really could have shown himself for what he is. Like they've really fucked up. I'll say this though: if Brendan Rodgers does leave,
exactly, and this is a good
There is one thing though that's really important. If Celtic do get rid of Brendan Rodgers at the end of the season, whether by mutual consent or he just walks at his own point in time,
I think they will go back to Ange.
If they do, they're making a huge mistake.
Yeah, I think they will go back to Ange, and it's gonna fuck them up completely.
Yeah, because they'll be so much more open. Another big thing as well is Carlton Vickers is out for 5 to 6 months.
Yeah, that's a huge blow.
Yeah.
It's a huge blow, and I think that's the thing. And like Chris said, Chris loves to deflect, and he was right. He was deflecting, and I thought that there's the accountability is across not just Brendan Rodgers, but across every single non-playing staff, playing staff there is. You can't, you said, oh, we're not with the money. You sold Adam Adea to bloody Swansea. When you bought him last season from Norwich, you sell him back to England Champions Club. What the fuck are you?
Exactly. And you bring back Kelechi Iheanacho. Useless signing. Useless football player. Celtic for too long are just getting away with all that penny pinching. Now they've started to spend big money on players. When Chris Boyd mentioned Ingles last week, Chris Sutton, honestly, I burst out laughing. The fact he started moaning about why are you going after Ingles? I was like, because he was 11 million quid, and what's he done in a Celtic shirt?
Fuck all.
Exactly. So I think it's absolutely funny, and then they've spent money that other Scottish clubs could genuinely dream of,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they've spent all that, and look what they've done. They've made themselves look like an embarrassment, and I hope it continues.
So do I.
Celtic absolutely have to win tomorrow to stay. Well, the title race isn't over yet.
No.
It's barely at the season.
Yeah, exactly.
But if Hearts win, they go 8 points clear. But Hearts can't get cocky. They
We
need
can't
to.
get cocky. We cannot get cocky. Remember the last time we got cocky? It was 2005, 2006. We got too cocky.
Mm-hmm. You've got to
And look
keep
what
it
happened
going.
there.
Yeah, you've got to keep it going the best way you can. That's true, Chris. That is true.
Yep.
You notice as well. Every time something goes wrong with Rangers, it's always the man. It's always the manager at fault when it's Rangers, or it's recruitment. But when it's Celtic, it's it's only the recruitment of poor players that don't fit. And I'm like, how can it be more than one issue with Rangers,
Yeah,
but it's only one issue for Celtic?
I know.
That's why I don't like listening to him.
Yeah.
If Hearts win, it's a big statement. Absolutely, absolutely.
It is. Yeah. It's a big statement. It really is as well. And then the big game tomorrow especially El Clasico, Real Madrid gets Barcelona. First time I said earlier, showed two English players on opposition side go against each other. That's the first in Clasico history. Who's going to have the upper hand of that tomorrow?
Well, we know history maintains itself. It's a huge game. It's always massive between these two. Trent Alexander-Arnold for years has always tried to be better than Marcus Rashford. He continues to fail in that test. Will he pass it this time? I don't know, but one thing is for sure: if someone takes out Lamine Yamal, I'll celebrate. Because an 18-year-old being that cocky isn't good for the game.
Yeah.
But it'll be a very interesting game tomorrow.
It reminds me of a LeBron James when he was a very cocky, when he was the last player that came up from a high school, and he was very cocky. And well, at least now he's not that cocky like he used to when he.
If Trent is injured, that's even more interesting.
He got injured a couple of weeks ago, so he's out. He's not going to face
So-
against Liverpool in the next couple.
So
of weeks.
be Jude Bellingham then.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, he's not had a great start to the season.
No, especially coming from his injury, back from his injury. Yeah,
Yeah, and Alonso also said that he doesn't know where he plays in his team, which is quite a awkward situation.
yeah.
We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure what happened. I think it's going to be another high scoring game.
Yeah.
Madrid can't afford to lose.
They're 2 points ahead of Barcelona, so
Yeah, they have to win more so than Barcelona do, because Barcelona are just under Flick. They're relentless. They play really good football, but when you have players like that cocky attitude, I just didn't like it. I like cocky in a different way. I don't like it when you actively come out and say it. Like the stuff that Lamine Yamal was saying. That's the stuff that fans
say
not what a footballer should say.
no. That's what fans say. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And that special treatment he gets off Barcelona has to stop.
How long that special treatment is going to last? That's what you need to think about now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Jesus Christ. I got sent something in my football WhatsApp group, right? Fucking hell, this is mad. There's a video called Liverpool Special. It's a football quiz number 63, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say it, right? I don't think I can say this on stream because I don't like. but I'm going to send you a picture. Just tell me if you think you can say this.
Let me see then.
I'm going to also send you another thing to laugh at. This is a fake Liverpool statement thing that's
Let
came
me
out.
see this.
But look at that comment that I've did. The first image I just sent you.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I ain't saying that.
But that is not. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
I can't believe people can actively say that. But the official club Liverpool statement one's funny. Coventry City 2, Watford 0 after 7 minutes.
Well, that's not surprising. Where Coventry's been beating teams,
Jesus.
Yeah, Chris, I do agree. I think it looks like it's going to be their year. I think it will be.
But there's a fake Liverpool statement that was.
I've seen that as well, actually. Yeah.
It's just the fact that it's signed by Hasta la Vista,
Low blocks. Yeah.
Hasta la Vista, low
The
blocks.
first one I'm not going to read, but the second one, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Liverpool Football Club can confirm that Brentford FC have, as of 8 o'clock this evening, failed to provide us with their starting 11 and
Tactical setup. Despite repeated reminders of a polite follow-up, even urgent, no dossiers, heat maps, or PowerPoint presentations have been received by this great in situation.
The last paragraph, we remind all opposition managers that it's customary to submit long ball patterns, defensive shape, and time wasting schedule 7 hours notice.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's so funny. Isak is to blame for his fitness. He was stuck in a cupboard like Anne. Jesus Christ!
Whoa! Damn!
Oh god!
Yeah. Whoa.
I mean, I've got one I can realistically top that, but it's I'd have to be quite brave to say it.
Are you brave?
Actually, you know what? I will say it. You spoke about Isak is to blame for his fitness. Frankfurt's goals are to blame, like the French against the Germans in World War II, when all they had to do was show up at their doorstep and they broke the defensive line.
Yeah.
That's a World War II joke, but that's a different one for you. All the Germans had to do was show up on the French doorstep, and that was it.
Oh my god, we're gonna get cancelled. We're gonna get cancelled. Yeah.
Oh, we so sorry. Come on in.
Oh god.
That's Reece leaving the stream now.
Yep, that's me. That's me. That means I'll lose all my followers now. So I'm like, yeah.
Nah, they won't. Everyone knows we have banter on here.
True, we do. Yeah.
If you can banter properly, you can banter properly, especially the French.
Yes. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a true statement, actually. Yeah. My god. You know what? Especially there's no bloody Premier League football at this time. It's surprising we've been beyond it anyway, because I usually would have finished by now. But
I think that's good though. They'll be getting more time out the stream. They get more fun early in the day. Have a crack on it and make some partially World War II jokes.
Carl, it's like time to end it. Yeah, I was thinking about that, Grace. I can hold it off for another few more minutes anyway.
I think we can safely say against Man United it was D-Day for Liverpool. Against Frankfurt it was Osterwasserschein.
That German in you is in you inside there. Yeah, I know. So
the funny thing is, I've got the stream beside me on one of my monitors. I'm just laughing my way. And I've just heard about Osterwasserschein.
Oh, other than that, what do you think about West Ham's performance yesterday against us? They were shocking. I know it said they are going down.
I think West Ham it's not just beyond saving. West Ham are beyond, like I said about Liverpool, like identity, trying to figure themselves out. I don't think West Ham know exactly what they want.
No.
Nuno is a good appointment, but he can't fix this. And another thing as well, Jared Bowen, you're a stupid fool for staying there. You
should have gone for the sake of your career, and it's the surprising thing is, and I was watching the Premier League show, and the Sky Sports F1 commentator David Cross, who is a big West Ham fan, and he said it's like you like Karen Brady, you're the apprentice. You should be fired from the first episode. And he was right to what we said that when he said David Sullivan, you know, yeah. It's surprising how those two are still running the club, are still at the club,
I
and
know.
it just shows that they don't
They're
care about the club. They just care about the business, and that's it. And that's what they've
oh,
always
they're
been since when they were at Birmingham City. At one point, there was always, but it's all about the business for them. It's not about football. It's all about business for them.
oh, absolutely, and they're genuinely pathetic as well. Um, Another thing as well that for me that stands out, another player is Lucas Paqueta Walker's. Paqueta Walkers, I should say. They're honestly failing themselves, and it's just embarrassing. Like, I don't see where. Like, I don't know where they go from here, West Ham, but well, maybe apart from relegation, possibly. But
And
they,
it'll be reduced seat from 66,000 to 20,000 in the championship next season.
eh?
I'm just putting that numbers up just in case if we have to play Preston on the Tuesday night next season, they may have to reduce the sections of the stadium to at least 30,000 because you ain't gonna fill. How are you gonna fill half that the 66,000 stadium in the championship season a game?
That's mental. Even though it's not West Ham Stadium, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Their owners are really not letting them down, but West Ham's strategy is so bad as well. And
Mm.
I said it before, when they gave the job to Graham Potter, that was their downfall.
And how the fuck he got the Sweden job? I do not know.
No idea. No idea. Yep, getting rid of Moyes.
Yep, yep, exactly. Yep, exactly. And you could see that boycott on Monday. What was?
Oh, that would be painful, Chris.
Ooh, yeah. You never know. It could happen. That is such a good point. That would be just like, oh, it would be just like in a way. Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, that is gonna be proper rubber salt and rules in that one if that did happen. My god, yeah. Never thought about that now, Crystal. You said it, so yeah.
Mm. Yeah, honestly, that's now crossing my mind. Pure humour.
I think we'll have to keep an eye on that one now for between now and May because that could be the reality if that happens.
Mm. It'd be funny if Coventry come up and then on the way down they start a rivalry with West Ham.
That would be funny, actually. Yeah,
We got promoted at West Ham's expense. Goodbye, goodbye.
yeah, that's true.
Mind you, they'll just come up and have a rivalry with anybody when they come up because that's all their fans do now.
Well, yeah, you telling that to Ant as well. So because I think that's why I don't think he's ever coming back on my channel because of what's been bloody going on with bloody with what's going on at Coventry and the bloody beating teams. Where he's like less, it's like I can't, that's why he's on loan at Sunderland at the moment with Michael. So yeah. Oh, yeah, that's cold. That's cold. Yeah, I can see the reaction on your face. Yeah, that's cold. Ooh,
Fuck,
yeah.
fuck.
The shock, the horror on your face there, the reaction there, Reese.
Doesn't shock me enough. Fucking hell, Chris, what a comment. That is a phenomenal comment.
Yeah, yeah.
We can say that one because context-wise, it's absolutely funny. Millwall in the Premier League would have more charges than Mr. DT. If you know, you know. All I'm going to say, Chris, is
Brave. Yeah, I applaud that. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Michael there says could even be Charlton the way they're getting results doing better than the other promoted money bag teams, Wrexham and Birmingham. The Wrexham have definitely spent the above their means to get in. They're going to struggle in the next 2 years, but they might figure it out. But I still think they're a major one in trouble because of the fact they've got so many investors with their ownership model. It's too much to balance out. Birmingham, when you spend 50 million quid in League One and you aren't even competing for the championship to get out, you're asking for trouble.
Mm.
And they'll get hit hard. If they don't get promoted, they are screwed.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, they could be screwed as well,
It
actually.
is the end of this season, isn't it? If they don't, they'll get investigated financially, won't they?
Yes.
So they have to get promoted.
Fucking hell, mate. That's going to be a big call then, yeah. I didn't realise that if they didn't get promotion this season, yeah, bloody hell.
Because it is 2 years, isn't it? It's 2 years.
2 years. I think it's usually 2 years, maybe 3, but it's usually 2 years, so yeah.
Well, if they can't figure that out, they're humped.
Mm-hmm. They are, certainly are humped as well. Well, bloody hell, yeah. And you know what? This is my final weekend of being employed because I start my new job on Monday. So this is my final
Nice.
weekend being unemployed for the last 3 years, nearly 3 years, over 3 years. So I'm looking forward to my first day on Monday.
Good time for you then. Next week I'm in Edinburgh all this week then for work. I'm covering something at work, so I'm in the office all week. So
I'm not going to be too far from you. I'll be that quarter mile.
I'll get your lunch on. Well, busy on the Monday lunch. If I can get you on Tuesday.
No, Monday I will be at the other site because I'm doing my first day at near
Nice.
Doug's place. But Tuesday onwards, I should
If
be.
you're near Doug's literally just round the corner for me.
I'm not. I know that. I know.
I could get you on Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday might not be a bad idea. I'll see what I'm doing. I'll see what I'm doing on Tuesday. If I'm being told to be at a quarter mile on Tuesday, because that's where I'm going to be working based there. But because tomorrow Monday I've got to do some signing up stuff.
Aye.
Up at near Liberton, where they're one of the biggest housing complexes for there. So I've got to go there Monday. But Tuesday I should be at quarter mile onwards from going forward. I should be. So yeah. I'll be support worker, Michael. I am in Scotland. I've been living in Scotland since I moved up from England about 12 years ago. So I'm still up here. Like I said, so as I said, I've been during a unit, was here for unit, did work out, did some apprenticeship for a bit, did some full time jobs in IT, but I've been off work for a while since then. So this is my first job in 3 years, which hopefully it's going to be the right things to do. So hopefully it's what the industry I want to go into and see how it goes. So the first few weeks and months, and then I take it as a day by day now with what I'm going to do with this. So I'm looking forward to it. Completely on Monday, but Tuesday onwards I should be at quarter mile Reece, so I might be round to meet for lunch. Yeah, I should be around to meet for lunch. So yeah, I'll let you know indeed. So yeah, but that is kind of coming to the end of the show, actually, guys. I thought, you know what, since we had no football, so probably football at this time, but I'm gonna have a chilled one. I'm gonna go out for a bit and chill out for a bit.
I'm taking, for the first time in a long time, I'm taking my youngest brother out, so I'm taking him to all places. I'm taking him to Smythes. So
Nice.
If I'd passed my driving test, I would have driven him. So, but no, I've got to walk him. Well, actually, no, I'll get a taxi because I need to take him in his wheelchair all the way down the centre, push him in that thing. Rest in peace, my arms.
Hey, listen, you gotta do what you have to do. Don't worry.
His electric wheelchair is not charged. I've got to take him in his other one.
Okay, that's
Karl already has more jobs than bedroom bloggers. There's another thing that Karl has more than these bedroom bloggers. It's called a successful relationship.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But remember, your next relationship is Leeds and Steve Clark.
Ain't gonna be that with the Steve Clark bullshit, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, go do your victory dance. Yeah. It's like winning the bloody final when you never won a final. You couldn't even bloody beat Frankfurt in the Europa League a couple of years ago, mate. So
here, to be fair, that's Aaron Ramsey's fault. He was too busy trying to figure out what celeb he's going to kill next.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's his fault.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well. On that note, thank you for everyone for watching in as well. Reece,
everyone will just get that dance in. I'm just gonna send it back one last time just so I can watch it because that was funny. Where's that dance? let me just watch that again. I just want to see it. Like I say, I've got the monitor beside me. There it is. Oh yeah, that's it. Here we go. Reece doing that invisible lifting trophy. That's Steve Clark.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Invisible trophy. Steve Clark to Leeds is the invisible trophy. I swear, if it happens, I will laugh my ass off.
Oh my god, yeah. Thank you everyone for messaging it as well. And as I'm
Yeah,
back on,
thank you so much, folks. We really do
yeah, I
appreciate
am
it.
back on tomorrow night with Michael and Annie for the championship review. So I'll be back, and then me and Doug should be both uploading our 20 Premier League podcasts either Tuesday at least when we're doing all our reviews this weekend. So yeah,
I
it's
still
good.
need to get on that with you guys as well. At
No,
some
we
point.
will do. We will do. We will make sure that's anyway. So I will let Doug knows. He knows that. So as I said to him, because we did it straight after his work on Tuesday actually. So it might be Monday because we've got no Monday Night Football. So we might be doing that instead. Hey, I'll take that, Chris. Yeah.
It's a war on. We may as well ask the question: the war between Chris and DT. When did that actually start?
That's true. I know. I want to know, Chris. Please tell us.
I mean, I absolutely understand calling out people like that. I absolutely do understand that and completely get it. But when did it become Chris versus
DT, yeah.
DT? When did that start? Because it's absolutely hilarious.
He is actually.
I mean, I credit and I respect the fact that he's doing it, but
I know. I want to know where the oranges start. I want to know
yeah.
from the oranges to where he's now.
Like you've got Batman versus Joker, Spider-Man versus Green Goblin or Doc Ock. They've got their origin stories. You've got Mr. Fantastic versus Doctor Doom. You've got Robert Downey Jr. versus the Marvel Universe. The fact he's taken on the Doom role.
I know.
You've got the Japanese in their use of introducing a deadly virus. Now you've got well, you had Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage.
Yep.
And now you've got Chris versus DT.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
It is so funny. Oh my god.
Oh, happy days, happy days.
It's made my Saturday a lot more easier. It has
Yeah.
actually.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Especially when I'm going to a new job, it makes my weekend a lot more easier. So
Rightly so.
yeah, absolutely. But thank you for everyone for watching us and joining in the messages. And like I said, we'll see you guys at the same time next Saturday at 11 a.m. as well. So yeah, we're looking forward to another week of watching more football, especially Leeds winning yesterday. I'm kind of a little bit happy, even though we didn't get the cliche. Actually, before we do go where he's a bit when it's made heroes way.
I'm just going to have that as we end the show, just because I don't get to do this enough.
No, you don't. That's true. I'll give you that. Yeah, absolutely. On that bombshell, it's time to end the show. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We'll see you guys next week. I'll be back on tomorrow night, as usual, the championship review. But all you have a good weekend. Take it for now. And it's goodbye from me, and then goodbye from Reece. Yep.